Hello, and we are live. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on wherever you are. If you can hear me, can you type hashtag live or type hi so that I'm sure that we don't have any glitches? Today, the internet seems to be a bit acting a bit weird, so I just want to be sure that you can hear me. So if you are watching this, can you please type hi or type hashtag live. And if you are watching this on replay, type hashtag replay. And I'd love to know where you guys joining from. Uh, Today, I have a very amazing guest, an expert whose work is really relevant to coaches and consultants these days. Because, I mean, let's be honest about it. We have so many coaches and so many consultants. It's really hard to know or differentiate or to stand out. So my guest today is somebody who is a brand identity expert and who's on a mission to help their clients align business with their personal brand to make better business decisions and choose the marketing strategies that fits them. I will not waste more time and I'll just add them to my stream. So please welcome my guests on episode 21 of Tuesday Treat. Please welcome Miss Tracy Borreson. Hey Tracy, can you hear me?
Hello, everybody. Yes, I can.
Well, thank you
Hey,
so
everybody.
much for
Super
joining
excited to
today.
be here.
Yeah, I am so glad and I am really thankful that you took time and you agreed to be a guest on this show. So I'm really excited for this interview as well because we've recently connected and we've had some really nice, interesting conversation about what is happening in the coaching and consulting industry, how branding and everything is going on. But there is a lot that I need to know more about how you do and how is everything going for you. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I will talk for a very long time. So a deal is going to keep me focused.
Sure, I'll do that. Although I also have a tendency whenever it's an interesting conversation, I like to keep that going and I don't feel like stopping it. But yeah, usually we do spend around 20 minutes for these interviews. So I'll try my best to not get biased and go with the flow of the conversation. So let me just not,
Okay, good.
let's not waste more time and let me just jump into my first question. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, that how you got into this and what you do, especially?
Yeah, definitely. So I a few things you guys should know about me. So I'm a personal a branding expert. I care about personal brands, and there's a lot more to a personal brand than just what you do for a job. And so I like to frame that when I do my intros with some of the other things that I consider very important to my brand. One of those things is that I am a mom. I have a 3-year-old redheaded fiery personality son at home who is very fun right now. I am a huge nerd. So I love, if you guys are watching live and you have some fun, nerdy movie references to make, pop them in the comments because that'll be fun. I live very close. So I'm Canadian. I live very close to
Mhm.
the mountains, and all of my energy comes from the mountains, which is amazing. And I am a tea drinker. I never go anywhere without my tea. Not a coffee drinker. Fun fact. So more about me on the professional level. My background is marketing. So I went to school for marketing. I worked in the corporate marketing arena for 15 years. And
Wow.
one of the I I always had a love-hate relationship with marketing. And the reason is because often marketing is used to sell people things that they don't really need. And even me and my background, like I worked for a retail furniture company, and it's just like it's not that people don't need furniture, but like what does it really do for humanity to have a comfy sofa? Um, so I always struggled with that, but I also believe in the power of storytelling. And when someone can tell a story that speaks to another person's heart and personal values, that is when there is a space that is created for someone to actually solve a problem. And so I always recognized that power of storytelling. And I saw that so often marketing was being used for bad things or unnecessary things. And I just got to the point in my corporate career where I just couldn't do it anymore. Every single minute I spent creating advertising campaigns for marketing automation software was just not a good way for me to spend my time. I did not feel like it was aligned with the contribution that I wanted to make, and I get one life. And so I quit. And I think that's actually a pretty unique story nowadays, because a lot of people seem to have a side hustle, and then they can try to transition to their side hustle. I did not have a side hustle. Technically, I had my business. It was in existence, but I didn't have any clients. I didn't have a backup plan. I quit my corporate job and I figured it out. And so one of the things that I love to talk about when it comes to personal branding and brand identity is that the answers are in the space. So once I quit my corporate job, I created the space for me to find my answers, to test things that some of them worked, some of them didn't, just like marketing, right? And a little side note for everybody about marketing. It doesn't matter how good you are at marketing, you will create marketing campaigns that stink, that to create no traction and nobody likes, right? Like, that's fine. The most expensive marketing firms have done that. So as an entrepreneur, you're going to do it too. So just don't even worry about that. But the space, this idea of creating the space for you to find those answers in your business and to tap into your personal values and bring those to life in your business. That's what it's about. There's a lot of work associated with running your own business, right, guys? I know you know it. There's a lot of things you have to do over and above just doing the thing you love. So as a coach, as a consultant, some of your time is spent coaching, some of your time is spent consulting, but if you're lucky, maybe that's half of your time when you're running your own business and you're doing lead generation, and you're doing marketing, and you're doing accounting, and you're doing like all of these things that you maybe never thought that you were going to have to do. And when you can tap into, I know a lot of people say it, they're like, to just tap into your why and you'll have all the answers. But the tapping is the first part. But then really what you want to do is you want to harness it. You want to harness it into helping you make those decisions. And so for marketing in specific, so my background is marketing. I mostly help my clients focus on their marketing strategies, because there are so many marketing strategies. And there's always someone telling you have to have a podcast, or you have to have a Facebook group, or you have to have an email funnel, or you have to have all these things. And then all of a sudden everybody thinks they have to have all the things. And you don't have to have all the things. You need to have one thing you like to do, which you can turn into business. And that's why, again, like sales, marketing, all of these words, they often give people anxiety. And when you can come back, so again, like I know most of you watching right now are coaches or consultants, right? Like, you're probably a coach or a consultant because you like to serve. It's fun for you to serve people. You want to help people. And when you think about a marketing interaction or a sales interaction as your opportunity to serve another person, the anxiety and overwhelm of marketing and sales can really disappear. It doesn't have to exist. It can be easy. It can be. I like to share my example because my entire promotional strategy is to go live with people. Sometimes I host, sometimes other people host, but this is what I do. I go live. I don't have an email funnel. I don't have a podcast. Right now I have my own Facebook group, but I'm actually closing my Facebook group because I don't need my Facebook group. And I even have my freebie. A lot of people, you're going to get a freebie today that's actually a PDF document, and that's bonus. But I have a freebie webinar series where I sit on a panel and we talk about permission to do you in your marketing, right? Like there's so many ways to do you. Well, there's one way to do you, but there's so many different ways that people can choose. There's no one way that works for everybody. Otherwise,
Exactly.
everybody would be doing the same thing.
Yeah. I think there are so many amazing lessons. I mean, one thing you mentioned is about being true to your values, and I think
Mhm.
once you are authentic about who you are, so yes, there are so many ways that you can explore, and I totally agree. I mean, when I started this, I mean, I did not have any Facebook group, and I was very hesitant to go live, but I think this was the space where I was like, I mean, even in the crowded space on Facebook or on any social media right now, there are more and more people who have groups, but still doing Facebook Live is one area where most people struggle with. So even those who are very active, not everybody is doing that. So even if I was telling myself that I'm not good or I won't be able to do it, I thought that this is one area where if I keep practicing and keep doing it, I can create some space. So yeah, I totally agree to what you said, and we also have a comment from Shauna. Shauna is an amazing friend, and she's also a very amazing brand strategy coach. And she is saying that you are talking her language. So she's saying she's talking my language. So I think yeah, I think we all can relate to actually what it is. So yeah, and quickly, I just want to connect this to my next question because you just talked about. I mean, that your audience is also coaches and consultants, and they are mostly about doing it because they feel good about it and they have a purpose around it. But I think
Mhm.
at the same time, because I've been working with coaches and consultants for the last 10 years, and I've seen that they are amazing coaches, but they struggle to generate business. And at the end of
Mhm.
the day, if you are not getting clients, not making money, so I have seen so many amazing coaches who really quit or they switch to something else just because they were not able to survive. So, I mean, my next question is, how, I mean, whatever that you've shared that you do, how that benefit coaches and consultants?
Two big ways. So one of the first ways is that you get to do it your way. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I've seen that also kind of pushes people out of doing what they love is that they're trying to do. So let's just choose lead generation, right? They're trying to use a lead generation strategy that doesn't work for them. And someone told them this is the lead generation strategy you have to use to get clients, and they try it and it doesn't work because it's not aligned with who they are. Like one of the things I always hear on Facebook is, I don't want to sell in the DMs, right? I know
Mm-hmm.
lots of people who run their entire business selling in the DMs. I know lots of people who run a business not even on social media, right? Like just off an email nurturing list. So it doesn't have to be that way. And so for me, I've watched so many people just fight with the tactics and the strategies that don't work for them. And then they think they're a failure. This is the one way that would make it work. They can't do it that way. And therefore they're not going to do it, which is sad because there's so many other ways. And that's one of the biggest benefits of working with a brand identity coach is that they will help you find the ways that feel good for you. And so when you are excited to show up, there's a different energy that comes with that. There's an energy that comes with that attracts people to you. It doesn't attract all people to you. That's not the goal. The goal of working on your brand identity is not to have, I like to use the example of LinkedIn, right? So if you're on LinkedIn, there's 835 million users. The goal of having a presence on LinkedIn is not to get 835 million followers or 835 million clients, right? That's not the goal. The goal is for you to speak to the 500 people who are your people. But if you don't have
Mm-hmm.
that clarity on who you are and that confidence to show up as an expert in your space, so that's the second one, the confidence to show up as an expert in your space, then you can't find those people. And I really want to point out that I'm saying an expert in your space, because you're not meant to be an expert in all spaces. right? Most of the
Exactly.
people that I work with are people who work in marketing. They sell marketing services, or they coach people in marketing, or they coach people in customer experience. And I can help them because they can't. I posted this thing on Facebook the other day. You can't be the coach of the team and play the game at the same time. You can't simultaneously do that. So even if you are good at coaching other people, I have a coach for me, for my personal brand, right? Because I can't coach myself and play my game. I have to play my game. I can coach other people to play their game, but I'm also not here to coach
Yeah.
people to play my game, right? Like, I'm here to play my game. You play your game. We'll all play our own game and then hopefully
Mhm.
accomplish whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish. But you just can't do it. This is why the whole market for coaches has exploded, because the people who coach know that you can't coach yourself. It's not possible. You're too in your head. It's not possible. And so being able to show up as that expert and know, like, I was like, I have a really good friend who's a money coach, right? Like, I'm not a money coach. She's coaching me on how to set up my business finances, because I'm not a money coach,
Mhm.
right? Like, I do brand identity. I'm really good at helping people find their brand identity. I'm not really good at being a social media manager. I'm not really good at shining shoes, but like, you get the point, right? This is not what
Yeah.
if I showed up today and tried to be a shoe shiner, then like, I'm just not that. Everything, all of my innate abilities don't point towards shoe shiner. I've just been using shoe shiner. I don't even know if that's a job anymore. I feel like in the airports where like people got their shoe shined,
Yeah.
but like, you only have to be good at one set of things. You don't
Yeah.
have to be good at everything. And
Mhm.
get a network of people, right? Like, I do a lot in marketing, but I don't do marketing services. So I have a great network of
Mhm.
people who are graphic designers and copywriters and all of those things that I'm not bad at, but well, I'm bad at graphic design, but like, I'm not good at, right? So like, I can just do what I'm good at. And especially in the coaching and
Yeah.
consulting space, just do what you're good at. I want to just add
Exactly.
in a note here too about like ideal targets, ideal client avatars, and things like
So,
that,
there's so many names
because
to it.
I know, pick your name and next year it'll
Yeah.
have a different name, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Most of it is based on who you are, who you want to serve, what problems do you want to solve. All of these things
Mhm.
are rooted in your personal brand. They're not rooted in someone else. Because again, I could look at Facebook, and because a lot of people say just do market research, I could look at Facebook and be like, every day I see 20 people who are asking for a logo, so I should just learn how to be a graphic designer. I don't have any innate ability to be a graphic designer. I don't have any visual creation skills, right? Like, I'm a speaker. I don't do that. That would be a terrible investment of my time. Could I make it a business? Sure, I could make it a business, but that's not what I'm here to do. What do you want to do? And then find the people who need that. And don't find the people who don't need that, because you don't need those people either. Right? And so if
Exactly.
those
And this
people,
is where the debate is. And this is
yeah,
where the debate is. So sorry, I'm cutting you in between, but I mean, this is where the debate is that most people they always start with finding your ideal clients, and I'm always like, what's the problem you solve best? I think this is where you should start from, because it's easier if you know what you are good at and then find who needs that the most. You can find your premium clients over there when you know you are the expert in solving something. So
mhm,
it's a paradigm shift for so many. I mean, that I've worked with, that because all the time they're like, how can we know that what are we going to offer or do something if we don't know our ideal client? But I'm like, first you're going to search that, then you need to research what is it that they need, and then you need to master. And that's where the confusion is. And most of the clients that I've worked with, they were actually going through the same thing, because they identified their ideal client first, and then they were not really confident about their ability to solve their problem, so they were charging really low, offering
mhm,
so much discounted price, and then they were struggling because
yeah,
they were not confident about that. So yeah,
yeah,
that's a very good point. I think we need to do 2 or 3 episodes of this. There's so much value, and I think you and Shauna should connect. Shauna is saying, "Oh my
Yeah,
God, she
Shauna,
is so right. It's a tough to
friend
brand
me,
yourself." Yeah.
friend me. We'll
So
have a
she,
coffee chat.
what I'll do is I'll tag you to this thread on Facebook. Then you can connect and people can reach out to you.
Mhm.
I'd love to keep discussing that, but we'll do that. But let's move to my
We should
favorite.
do an episode just on ideal targets, because I do want to say this one thing before you move me along, is that
Yeah.
if you guys are going to do market research, I will tell you, my
Mhm.
education is in market research, so I can tell you this. In order to do effective market research, you have to have a hypothesis. The best place to
Exactly.
create your hypothesis from is your personal brand. So I think people have this problem because this is what I want to do. Great. Now go do market research. Don't do market research to find out what problems people have. Do market research to find out if people have this problem. Okay. Now
Hmm.
we'll do another episode
Yeah.
on ideal clients and target
We'll do
market.
something on this. Let's discuss this after the call. No worries. So yeah, let's move to my favorite question, which is like, I mean, normally, I mean, let's say, I don't know. You tell us if this can be a personal brand or not, because usually what happens when a guest come, you give them a gift or something. But over here, it's the other way around. We always ask our guests to bring some treat for our audience. So do you have any treat for our audience?
I do have treats. I always come with treats. So today I have for you guys a how to grow your personal brand guide. The thing I love it, so one of the things I love about it is it can be used wherever. I created it because I wanted it to be usable for people who are still in their 9 to 5 as well. So it's not like you have to invest 3 hours a day to grow your personal brand. No, it's like a 30 minutes a day, how to grow your personal brand. And it's based on being you, tapping into your values, finding out what you're passionate
Hmm.
about, finding out what frustrates you, and trying to incorporate those things in so the first step in personal branding is noticing. This is anything in terms of mindset, right? Before you can change something, you need to notice it. And in personal branding, it's almost always tied to something that makes you excited, or frustrates the crap out of you. So like every time I see someone talking about marketing research and I'm just like, ugh, like 90% of people are doing it wrong, is really frustrating for me.
Exactly.
Those are windows into the things that you care about. That's how you penetrate your personal brand. So your personal brand also is not something someone else is going to give you. It's not. I actually posted about this on LinkedIn earlier today because I'm a big fan of Pink's new song. And there's a lyric in there that says, I can't teach you how to fly. And as a personal branding coach, this is not my job. My job is I can't teach you how to fly. I know how to fly, but the way I learned how to fly is not the way you're going to learn how to fly. What I can do for you is I can help you understand the concepts of flying. I can help you create an environment that is conducive to you flying, and I can help you create the confidence to leap off of your perch. That is what a personal branding coach is going to do. If you hear people in the personal branding arena who are talking about just getting you followers and like headshots so you look a certain way, or heaven forbid, there's a lady on LinkedIn I follow who just like is constantly trying to convince people that there is a way they need to be in order for people to follow them instead of them just being themselves. Just like stop and then go back to this guide and look at that instead. Because again, the concept
Yeah.
of a personal brand isn't that you need to be any different than you are today. It's that you
Mm.
need to harness your greatness the way it is and choose the things where you can easily show up and be yourself. That's what being authentic is. And we throw the word authenticity around like it's a marketing jargon, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not. Being authentic means showing up as the unique human that you are. And your job as the unique human that you are is not to become someone else. That
Yeah.
is not, no matter who else is here is going to try and convince you that that is what you should be, that you should just be Tony Robbins and then everything will be fine. No, you can't be Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is already taken. What if you could compete with Tony Robbins by being exactly who you are? That's how you're going to compete with Tony Robbins, to be honest with you, because Tony Robbins just, have you seen the man? He does his thing. I find it kind of frightening sometimes, but people love it,
Yeah.
right? Like he does him. Any of these people who have gotten hugely successful in their arenas because they show up as the unique human they are. And your goal coming out of this session isn't to be more like Tracy or more like Adil or more like anybody who is not you. Your job is to be you. This exercise is about helping you to figure out what would you do? Not what would someone else do? What would you do? And then start to make decisions based on that.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And I think I'm not a personal branding expert or not even a branding expert, but please correct me if I'm wrong. In last 10 years, what I've learned that your branding, even your business strategies and everything, they keep on evolving. It's all about, like you said, you need to just show up and you need to allow yourself to just be you and be there. You'll make mistakes, you'll learn from them, and that's how you'll grow. Probably today what I'm saying, maybe going forward, I learned that it is not working anymore and there is a better way. So that's how
Yes.
you develop your personal brand. And that's what authenticity for me is, that yes, if I am wrong, I need to make adjustment, make improvement, and I can be me and I can show up and allow others to see that. And yes, this is an example. Like, I mean, I'm not sure how you describe yourself, but I mean, from just an experience, I see that you probably are an extrovert. But I mean, this is one term that I learned from one of my guests on this show, actually, that she mentioned that she is not shy, but she's reserved. So I was like, I mean, yes, there are whole category of people who are probably not as outgoing. They don't feel comfortable going live because they feel that they are reserved. And I mean, even they're not shy, but they're reserved and they're not comfortable. But I think, I mean, if I share my example, it was not about that. And I think over the period of 5 to 6 months, I was attracting those who wanted to someone like me. They were not even, I mean, they were not able to relate with Tony Robbins way because they know they cannot do that. Because I mean, like, I mean, I was like, whenever I make a promo or something like that for this, I'll always do those 3 seconds high action picture, like that. This is not about, this show is not like that. So if you want to do that, watch this clip for 3 seconds and have all the energy, because I'm not that. I
Yeah.
cannot do that. I can have, I can be me, and I know that
Yes.
this is where my strengths are. So yeah, that's very good, and thank you so much for
Oh,
sharing this,
and
Steve.
one more,
I
can I
have,
share one more note
please,
on that
yeah,
just
sure.
quickly? Is that because a lot of people also think the energy they are attracted to is the energy they need to be, but that is not true. So the energy that you normally exist in, so you guys can tell right now, right? Like I have a different energy than Adil has, and that is normal. That's normal human behavior, people. We're not all supposed to have the exact same energy all the time. There are people
Yeah.
who are attracted to that. So even if you're attracted to a different type of energy, so because I have a lot of people who are like, oh, I just like, I love following you. You're so fun and enthusiastic and stuff. Like, that's great. That's why people follow me. That's not why people follow you. People follow you for a different reason. And it's because you have an energy and a value system that attracts them. And every time you try to be different than that, you repel your people. And even if you're attracting people, then you're attracting the wrong people. And so I just wanted to point that out because a lot of times people think that what they like is what they need to be. And that is absolutely not true.
Yeah,
And your
exactly.
personal brand is an evolution. It will constantly evolve. And even if, so this is the other thing, permission to give yourself the ability to change, right? Like you like showing up on Facebook today, great. 2 years from now, you don't like showing up on Facebook, great. Show up somewhere else, right? It doesn't matter. No decision that you're, especially we're entrepreneurs, right? Like we run our own show. You don't like a decision that you made, change it, do something different. It's fine.
Exactly.
You're not locked into anything.
Yeah, exactly. I think you said it a couple of times that it's not just, there is no just one way of doing things. There are so many ways that can be done, and I think I've seen in at least last year, and I think I can think of so many people when you were saying there are some people who say this is the way of doing things and all that, but I've seen that hardly if anyone is even following their way, it's hardly 15 to 20% of people who are successful following that. What about the remaining 80%? They are not
Right.
successful because it's not their way. It's not
Yeah.
their way, and it's not. I mean, I always see people debating about this is the method or this is you are supposed to do. Some are against ads and some are not in favor. I mean, some are in favor of ad and things like that. I'm like, man, everybody needs to find their way. If it works
Yes.
for someone, it's their way. So it's like you cannot.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't see the point of having this debate where somebody is feeling like that. Okay, you should do ads, or somebody is like fighting for don't do ads. So it's like, hey, let's just be whatever that is working for you. So I think
Right.
an umbrella for that would be your thing that you do is about that. That's what your personal branding is all about. That you
Mhm.
finding what you really are good at and what is it that you do best. So I think
Mhm.
yeah, that's the key takeaway. So I've
And
shared this
one,
link
I'm
over
gonna
here.
send it. I want to do one more plug.
Uh-huh,
Sorry, you
uh-huh.
keep making me think of
That's
things.
it.
And hi, Kelly. Kelly is saying hi. I haven't seen you for a while. It's nice to see you. There, another important thing is surround yourself with people who also believe that, right? So you guys are following a deal. You're clearly doing that already, right? Like if you feel like you don't have a community of people, reach out to me. I have a community called Your Business Peeps that is specifically built around that. It is a community of people who are building their personal brands, trying to figure out how to do things their way, a community of people who are celebrating people learning and growing and failing and scaling all of the things based on their personal brand. So if that's something that you guys are looking for in terms of a dedicated space, just reach out to me.
Well, that's awesome. I think we can count that as street number two. So what you can do is I'll tag you. I'll tag you on this thread, and once you're there, you can share all how people can reach out to you. You can share the link of your community over there as well, and we can share all the links. So I'm sure people would love to reach out to you. And I think one thing that we've recently connected, but I found Tracy to be very approachable, and it's always fun having a conversation around personal branding and business. So I'm sure it will be great if you reach out to her, and she has an amazing community. So I think do give that a try. So
Yes, please.
any
And
parting
reach out to
thoughts?
me. I love coffee
Yeah,
chats. So if anyone who
yeah,
wants to have a coffee chat with me, just reach out
yeah,
on Facebook. I'd be happy to do that.
sure,
And
yeah.
my final leave you guys with is that I want you to take away from this session this question that you can constantly ask yourself. What would I do? This is what someone else is doing. What would I do? How would I show up? What would I do? If you
Mhm.
guys can take that away, then my time was well spent today.
Yeah, that's awesome, and thank you so much for your time today. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. So I really enjoy our conversation. So thank you so much for your time. And to our audience, those who are watching now or those who are going to watch this on replay, I really recommend you guys to connect Tracy. I'll tag her on this thread on Facebook, so you can connect with her, or she'll please share your contact details or and your community link to your community as well, so that they can reach out to you. And we'll be back again next week with another amazing expert. So till then, have fun. Good evening. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.